Hi there, parents. Have you noticed that your kids are really standing in their power right now? Are they being resistant to your authority, to the ways that they should be acting or behaving? This real standing in their power and telling you no with their full force and being? If so, please know that you are not alone in feeling this. In fact, it is very highlighted in the astrology, and it's going to continue to build until the rest of this year of 2022. So I want to give you some guidance, a roadmap for what's coming and how you can meet this energy where it's at and negotiate your way this moment in time with your kids. My name is Chrissy Whistler. I am an intuitive and evolutionary astrologer, and I'm also the parent of 2 magical multi-dimensional kids. So truly, understanding the astrology and the energies that are coming up has been an absolute game changer on my parenting journey. It really helps me to navigate some very intense, difficult moments with a little bit more ease because I know why it's coming up. I know what my soul and the soul of my kids are asking to heal and to be seen at these times. So, if you are actually very interested in this and how astrology can support you as a parent, please check out my website. You will find that in the link below in the description, chrissywhistler.com. I am available for healing sessions as well as astrology birth chart readings for you or your child. And please like and subscribe. It really helps me to get this message out there to more parents like you who are seeking to understand your kids and how better to meet them in their exact needs. So, all right. So let's get into this astrology that I've been talking about. All right. Now, the really big aspect right now has to do with the planet of Saturn. Now, Saturn is the past. Saturn is rules, laws, regulations. Think of it as our systems and actual structures on our world, like our governments, for example. Saturn is also this top-down energy when it comes to authority, which, of course, as parents, we have so often been taught that that is how we parent our kids, from this top-down authority rather than being like in a partnership with our kids. Saturn is also societal expectations and obligations. So that's some of the Saturn energy, okay? Now, Saturn is square the moon's nodes as well as being square to Uranus. And we've been feeling this for a while, but we are building intention from now really until the rest of this year, October, November, and December. So that's why I really want to bring this to your attention so you can understand these energies. When it comes to Saturn, when it comes to the moon's nodes and Uranus, I mean, it's so much better to meet the energy where it's at rather than being tossed around in the storm. Because it's like if we don't change, that change will be happening to us anyway, especially when it comes to Uranus. Uranus can be very big shocks, surprises, getting ripped out from under your feet. But I will go into that one in just a moment. So that's Saturn, okay? And the moon's nodes, what is that? The moon's nodes are the evolutionary direction that our soul or our collective of souls are going on. So they move out of signs about every 18 months. And at the beginning of this year, they went into the North Node, which is our collective future, our collective destiny, the direction our soul is wanting to go into. That's the North Node, went into Taurus. What is Taurus? Taurus is beauty, the five senses, sensuality, the body. It is value systems, money, resources, exchange. That's all the energy of Taurus. It is also going at your own rhythm that works for you, your own pace, your way of doing things, what you find tasty and enjoyable. So we as humanity, this, next, we're about almost 9 months into this year. Yes. So for the next year, we're continuing to go in this direction of Taurus, to pull ourselves out of the South Node of Scorpio, which is intense, drama, the extremes, the intensity of Scorpio, out of the frying pan, right? We're leaving the frying pan behind, the claustrophobia, and we're going into the slow pastures of Taurus, to be that cow slowly eating the grass. The cow eats grass because that's what the cow likes. That's that energy of Taurus. And as I said, Scorpio is really digging up the muck, Scorpio is digging to the bottom of the barrel. It's shining a light into the darkness, into this full spectrum of experiences. The good, the bad, the ugly. That's where Scorpio is great at going. It goes into the unconscious, into this underworld kind of journey. And through that, that is what allows for this transformation to occur. Scorpio and Pluto, because Pluto rules Scorpio, it's a reactionary chamber, catalyst, so you have this intensity of Scorpio. The South Node is experiences from the past being brought to the surface to be seen and transformed, going into the discomfort and to become new, to become reborn on the other side. So that's the moon's nodes, And here we have Saturn squaring that. Now, the squares are really this building tension of energy. These squares are not easy energies. They are not. They can be very challenging. We can have this experience of it actually being very unconscious to us. So we have to actually consciously integrate the themes of these moon's nodes into our lives at this time. So that's what we are being asked to do, to choose to go slower in our lives. So I want to kind of give you this foundation of the energies, and now I'm going to start bringing in what the heck does any of this mean for you as a parent or for your child? Well, if you think about it, consciously choose more time in your life to go slower, to not have your kids' schedule booked from the moment they wake up at 6 a.m. to go to school to the moment they go to bed at maybe 8 p.m. at night. And there's no time for slowness in their day because they're going to school, and then they have band practice, and then they're going to go do some sports, and then they have homework to do, and then there's dinner, and you got to brush your teeth, right? You see what I mean? It's like the structure. No time, for slowness, for doing what they love. Maybe they love to paint. Maybe they really love to play video games, like most kids do, and yet they don't have any time to do it. And so there can be this building frustration towards you as the parent for exerting your authority over them and over what they want and that they love. And so there's tension, this friction energy that's coming in, and they're not liking it. And, I'm using this as an example. So, no judgment on how you manage screens and video games in your household. But it's coming to my mind for a reason, so I'm just going to go with it. Because it is something that many of our kids enjoy. And yet, what so many parents can have really big feelings, and I would even say fears about video games. So this is this conscious integration period, okay, to really have our own inner reflection on how we are using our authority. And there's more dynamics coming into this even as I'm speaking, especially with the square to Uranus and Saturn. And this pushing from our kids of wanting freedom, Uranus, and less control from us, the parents, or more freedom over school, which can be very controlling. It might be very restrictive. They might not be allowed to be who they are, to engage with learning in a way that works for their mind and their body. And so again, these are just examples of this. You can experience this growing tension, this growing friction in these energies with our kids. Uranus is also the future. Uranus is the unknown. And yes, parents, going into the unknown, going into the future, it's scary because we don't know what we're going to encounter on the other side of it. And Saturn is the past. This is the way that things have always been done. I went to this school, so now you're going to go to this school. Or for your older kids, or even for your parents, might have had this experience of I worked at the railroad, and my son, you are now going to do the same thing. And you could have that son being like, I don't want to do that. That's not my calling. And right? So that's what I mean of this old versus the new coming to a head, building tension. Saturn and Uranus, think of it like a spring, okay? And the more pressure that gets exerted, the more authority, the tighter and tighter that spring gets, okay? And when it finally lifts off, that's Uranus. And Uranus is truly coming from the future. Uranus is like this quantum realm connection. It is this energy of getting insight, like lightning bolts coming in from our higher mind, the universe, straight down into us. It can be this experience, as I mentioned, of getting the rug ripped out from under you, right? Because it suddenly explodes. And this explosion, this energy, it's breaking and shattering the glass ceiling. Like in the Willy Wonka in the elevator, okay? You just think of it, you go so high, and then all of a sudden it bursts through the roof. And now you're in this elevator that's spinning, and it's going in diagonal. It's not just going up and down anymore. It's going left to right. It's going this way. It's going that way. It's like shooting different colors. That is Uranus. And that's what Uranus is bringing in for us at this time. And our kids, okay, our kids are going to be reflections of these energies. And who else are they going to reflect them more with than the people they feel safe with, who are around them all the time? You, as their parents, again, schools and friends, like other parents of friends. So there can be this real building of tension between control and freedom, between top-down authority, parents, school systems and structures, bosses for your older kids, and Uranus saying, no, I don't want to do it that way. I want to be free. I want to do it my way. And it's Uranus, okay, is also this energy of divine discontent. It has the ability, right? Because I'm saying Uranus is the future. Uranus has this amazing ability to look at Saturn, this past, the structures and systems that we're having in place, and it says, this is not working. This and this and this, like, no. Uranus is a very objective energy. It can see all the bits and parts that aren't working. And it says instead, let's go experiment. Let's go try and do something better. Build it better. There's that Saturn energy. Build it better and have it physically be on our planet. So again, our kids, you might very much be experiencing this tension, this them stepping into their authority, their power, and really telling you, or friends, or who are being that top-down authority onto them, teachers, systems, structures. This could be, again, school systems in place. I'm filming this right as the fall school season is starting, and them saying, no, I don't agree with this. This is not working for me. This can be done so much better. You could have kids really asking, like, why am I in school for 8 hours a day? This is dumb. I could have learned that in an hour if you just gave me the book so I could get it marked and done. Why do I need to spend 8 months learning something that I could pick up in a month if you actually gave me the opportunity to do it my way, my pace? Okay, we're bringing in the North Node energy in Taurus, my way of doing things, or following even what I enjoy, and watch how quickly I can learn it. So that is some of what you might be experiencing, parents. These kids, in general, these kids that are coming in are really here to help break down the old systems and structures that aren't working. And they have that more objective view. They're just like, no, this isn't working and I'm not doing it. And you can't make me. Do any of you have kids like that? If you do, I would love to hear that in the comments. It's always great to know that I'm not alone in having these very strong-willed, strong knowing kids of who they are and of what they will and will not do. As I said, these kids are coming in to build it new, to build it better. That's their mission. That's part of their soul's reason for being there, for being here on this planet at this time. So, clearing energy. The question becomes, how can we, as a parent, meet them in this energy? How can we? We can resist what is, and we can say, this is the way things have always been done. This is the way that we're going to do it, and you're going to do it whether you like it or not. Let me know how that goes for you. Especially long term, because at some point, our kids, and you might have some, become adults, right? So how well is this really holding on to the past going to work for you? And I'm going to give you a clue to say that the astrology is saying that it's not. So this square with Saturn and the moon's nodes, the square with Saturn and Uranus. Uranus is bringing us into the future. We have had, and we are going to be in this energy with Uranus conjunct the moon's north node in Taurus for the rest of the year. So guess where our collective future destiny is? It's not in Saturn. It's not in the past, in the way things were done. That's the south node, okay? We are going into the future. We are moving into slowness and spaciousness, open pastures, into nature. So how can you start to honor your kids and their actual needs? You know, their rhythm, their body, their way and pace of doing things. You know, and like, again, it's like you don't want to hold on to that past, okay? And I'm also saying too that this isn't about having no rules and no structures, okay? We need containers. You know, my glass of water, if I want to drink this water, I need a container for it. So we're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater here. Instead, this is an invitation to build something new, to walk a whole new path. Like, we are literally carving our path forward into the future, into the unknown. So how can you meet that energy? If you know that your kids are really feeling this energy about freedom and they don't want to be told what to do, how can you navigate that with them? Right? Like, instead of putting on 20 rules tomorrow, how about you just do the one that really matters, or the two of them that really matters? You know, like if you have older kids, can you come up with this, you know, you can go out with your friends. I need to know when you're going to be home. I need to be in contact with you. You know what I mean? So you can find ways to work with them, to give them the freedom that they need, and yet still be safe, right? Like the energy is almost with parents and kids building a new way of doing relationship with them, where they are not only getting this top-down authority. Instead, it's they actually have authority in this relationship. They have a voice that matters, and you are going to be bridging and learning this new balance of that together, which of course will be very unique and different to the child that you have. Now, you know, I have 2 kids, and Eric is my much more special needs child. So his way is going to be very different even from my daughter, Kate's. You know, and so it's going to be different, and I'm the one that's going to tailor that for them, and you can do the same. But again, how can you meet them and just stop resisting of what's happening? Because they are here to push against the grain. Like, they are here to push these boundaries and to bring us into something new. So you don't want to be that glass ceiling that gets shattered, okay? I hope you're not, anyway. Which of course is why I'm filming this video, to give you this heads up and this guidance of what's coming and how can we move through it. Uranus energy, there is no stopping Uranus. It is sudden and shocking, again, rug ripped out from under your feet kind of energy. It is going to bring you into the future whether you like it or not. So how can you meet it? And you specifically will know how it's coming up for you in your life because you are an aware parent. You're watching this video. So when you start to have this dynamic coming up with your kids, or your kids and their partner, your kids in school, or whatever it is, like, you're going to be like, okay, I see what's happening here. And knowing that, you're going to know, like, what is the lesson here that these souls, this moment is asking to be learned and integrated. Be conscious and integrate these energies. Integrate this north node in Taurus of honoring their pace and yours. Honoring their needs, their tastes, and honoring yours. And how can you do that together? How can you do that in a new way, in a new relationship with them? Right? Taurus, as I said, is values. You may be even recreating and building, Saturn, new values with your kids and how you are doing this relationship with them. And as I said, with this Saturn and these squares to Saturn, this is not the time to do things the way we did them in the past, because it's not going to work anymore. We are breaking new ground and going into this new future. So the energy of this moment is to do it differently. This is revolutionary energy. It's rebellious. It's kind of feisty, okay? It's breaking through and going just straight into that quantum future, okay? So if this could be related to a project or a dream on your soul, or how you might want to be doing schooling, for example. Maybe you're just kind of like, yeah, this school thing, it's not working. My kid is being so clear that this particular structures and the curriculum that has been dictated by this top-down authority that they need to learn. And my kid is like, no, I'm not doing that, and you can't make me. Well, what if that new, different way of doing it is actually going into nature and learning there, and learning through nature, and learning through living? What if that is this new direction for you? And which, if you do need any support on that, if it you're like, wow, that sounds super exciting, I want to know more, please send me a message, because that is how I interact. Is one of my main ways of teaching my kids, is we are in nature and camping once in a month. So let me know if you would like more information about that, or in the video, or more videos. So let me know in the comments if you're like, hey, Chrissy, can you talk more about that? I want to learn. So yeah, let me know. But that's what I mean, okay? We're going to do it differently, to have different communities and how we are connecting with people, not the way they were done in the past, right? We're going into the new parents, into these new directions. How can you accept even the gifts and sensitivities and abilities and talents that your kids have, that in the past was never recognized? And you're over here and you're like, my kid is a telepathic communicator. But your doctors and your authorities and your professionals are like, no, you're crazy. That's not real. Like, no, it is real. That's where we're going. So this energy is also about recognizing your authority as an individual and as a parent. So if you have been in this situation with these authorities and professionals, not able to see or listen to the abilities and who your child really is, okay, can you recognize your authority as the expert on your child and start going into that future? That was my experience, not a good one. Still healing from the trauma I experienced from these professionals, and yet absolutely the amazing right thing to do was to follow my intuition and to go where my children led me. And wow, is this taking me far into the future, and they're thriving, doing it their way, going at their pace, following their unique tastes and interests, right? North Node of Taurus. So that is this invitation here for you. Can you give yourself the authority that you are, that you have skills and gifts and talents, even if it's not recognized over here by these systems and structures of the past? Because you are an authority. You are highly capable and skilled and gifted, especially when it comes to tuning into your parental intuition, your gut knowing, about your kids, because you are the expert on them. Even, yes, as we are in this astrology and this breaking through, right? Our kids are still continually teaching us about them. And if we don't listen, it's they're going to break through that glass ceiling whether we like it or not. And I'll also add too, is this when you recognize, parents, the skills and capabilities that you have, like within yourself, that is going to start showing up in how you show up in your presence of this world, how you stand in your power and your strength and your authority. You are going to be teaching your kids because you are modeling for them how to do it. I mean, I would honestly, I would love to know and see how you are stepping into your own authority. You know, just like the kids, okay, that's you too, parents. You are here in this moment of going against the grain, of leaving the past behind and going into this new future. How are you stepping into and claiming your authority in your life? Are you being this trailblazer, making this new path for your kids so then they can go and they can just shine, right? And they can just be this brilliant light, this game changer, this world shaper, world shifter that they've come in to be. They're not necessarily going to be able to do that in their full strength and in their full light if you don't go and make this path for them, to protect them and hold them in their innocence and in who they are. And of course, that's not to say that, you know, if we don't do this, they're not going to go and do their thing. But it's, can we make that way easier for them? Can we say yes to what their soul has called to do and to be that protective force against the past, the systems, the structures that aren't willing to recognize their skills and capabilities? To, instead of saying, okay, this is what you have to be, this is the mold you have to take on, the clothes, the cloak, the mask that you need to wear, that I don't know about you, that I had to wear as a child just to get through my childhood or young adult experience. Like, what would it have been like if instead of putting on the masks you were told, no, you just go be you, and I'm going to stand beside you all the way of you being you. That is powerful right there. And that is a gift that we can be giving our children, especially as we are going into this new and bright and different future. But we really need to make a conscious choice, parents, to meet them, meet our kids at this new future. To accept and to honor, to love who they are for what they like and what they don't like, for their way and pace, or are we going to force them to be in this very claustrophobic, intense situation, wherever that is in their life? Instead, can we just let them be and let them go? There's real magic in that. And what we are bringing in by honoring their uniqueness and by telling the world around them, telling all that Saturn energy, no, we're going to let them be them. And if you don't like it, okay, that's your opinion. You don't have to like it. But I'm going to stand by them anyway. And then you having that authority and you stepping into your authority and your power, your sovereignty to do that for them. Because again, like our kids, depending on how old yours are, of course, you know, like when they're adults, they're adults. But until then, our voice is their voice. Because they don't have one of their own yet. They're not allowed to have one by our current systems and structures, right? Children really don't have a voice. but we can be that voice for them. We can speak for them. So I hope that is helpful for you to understand these energies. They're going to keep building. In fact, we have a lunar eclipse in Scorpio on November 8th, which is election day here in the US. So these energies are building. There is a synchronicity, there is a reason and a purpose for what we are going through at this time. So be mindful of that, even as we're going through the intensity, even as we are seeing what has been hidden in the dark, in the underworld being brought to the surface, shining a light on those areas so we can then heal it, integrate it, and move into that future of slowness where we really value what we value. The real things that we value, that we love in our lives, and not what we are just told to do. So again, I really hope that was helpful. If you need support, parents, please know that I am here for you. If you're really struggling with your child right now in this energy and you need help, please reach out. I do offer coaching and consult calls as well as the astrology birth charts. This again is a game changer for me because I'm immediately like, oh, that energy is highlighted in my kids right now. So I can be more mindful and meet that energy and the needs of my kids based on that energy. So again, go to my website, you'll find that below. Please like and subscribe and share this message with your friends, and let's get this out there to more consciously aware parents who are wanting and needing to be in this relationship with their kids, and they might not know how, and they might not know how the astrology is impacting their lives, their families' lives at this moment in time. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.